Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you for joining me here. Hope you're having a great day. Let's take a quick look once more at SUI, see what's going on. Maintaining a pretty good range here above this 198 support or previous resistance level. Definitely looking good, but we got to recognize that we still got a lot of resistance above us in that 210 to 225 range. So we're not out of the woods by any stretch. However, the structure looks tremendously better than Bitcoin structure. Maintaining again above that previous resistance turn support level here for the moment. So likelihood of further upside, but we want to double check some back and liquidation data to see what's going on first. If you're new to the channel, welcome aboard. Thanks so much for being an awesome part of my life. Don't forget to like the video and please comment below. Let me know what your position is here with SUI. Are you long, are you short, and what's your average entry? Always curious to hear that. We take a look here at the back end liquidation data. We can see 240, 260, some upper ranges there, and obviously the lower 170 range. We're kind of in the middle here. There's not like a tremendous amount of liquidation locally saying that, oh, we're just going to explode in either direction, but we're starting to see a lot more shorts in this range of 210 to 220. So it would seem practical for us to get, at the very least, a candle wick up to that 220 range before we end up pulling back, or just in general before we continue further up to that 240 range. A lot of liquidation, kind of implying that more likelihood of further upside. If you compare that, or sorry, you combine that rather with high liquidation delta, which we're seeing right now, we got $100 million in liquidation longs versus shorts, basically implying more longs are in the market. That's a very, very good sign. Typically, when you see that, that resistance level being retested with extra volume, that's a very, very good, good consideration for long. I'm not a breakout trader personally, and we're still in a descending trend. So you got to recognize it's inherently more risky to take a long right now, but there is potential benefit there based on that metric there. So we see once again 210 to 220 is that resistance range locally based on open interest and of course previous support levels turned into resistances. When we look at the daily time frame, there's not much to note here, folks. Daily time frame is pretty much the same for all coins right now. It's just looking pretty much terrible. There's nothing that's going to be like, oh my gosh, we got to take a long right now because we're seeing some hidden divergence of some sort. I'm sure other influencers are probably saying something like that, but at this point, there's nothing there on the daily. I can assure you that it's roughly the same for all altcoins. However, the 4-hour time frame is kind of giving us the inclination that we're testing that 20-day SMA, which is generally a favorable sign. Getting above that level would be even better, of course, hopefully, or ideally, we range bound here in this current area, and then we break out further up. It's basically referred to as a bullish type of rectangle pattern. So hypothetically, we continue to range here between 198 and roughly 210. We're more likely to break up because of that. Okay, so that's a very good sign there. Hourly, I'm willing to guess that we are above the cloud. Most other coins are exuding the same behaviors here. So basically just letting us know from a short-term perspective, we're tentatively back on track. Okay, and this is just very tentative. I got to emphasize that. But if we continue to maintain this range and Bitcoin doesn't go stupid on us to the 76, 75K range, then we're probably going to be in pretty good shape to be able to hold this level and continue higher up. Once more, folks, as per usual, the entire altcoin market is contingent on one coin, which is Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is a significant struggle bus lately. But it is showing signs it wants to retest that 80 to 82K range based on its liquidation levels and then some. So if you're not familiar, I have my play-out chart on our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. I do personally think this CME gap, this upper liquidation range, will be retested here in the relative near future. So those are my thoughts. I've been wrong before though, so whatever. It happens, folks. No one's right all the time, but I can tell you that overall, the market is not providing a tremendous amount of opportunities. So just try to be patient. Wait on the sidelines if you have to. It's okay to not trade for a little while. Try not to convince yourself to take a trade. It's just not worth it. I hope this makes sense though, and I described everything correctly. Thank you again so much for being once more wonderful parts of my life. We'll look forward to seeing you in the next one. Have a great rest of your day. Take care.